Hi, we are students from U.S China student-to-student dialogue. Let's do a brief self-introduction first.
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone, my name is Daniel Alejandro Emiliano Soria Gomez. I am a student from UC San Diego, a junior studying international studies with a concentration in literature. And I'm joined here by...
Hi everyone, my name is Ashutosh, you can call me Ashu. I'm from India. I'm doing my PhD in international politics from Fudan University, and I'm very happy to join this U.S China student dialogue. It gave me a very, very broad experience about the world. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Veronica Dixon Larrota. I am a recently graduated master's student from Gergetown University. I studied international development and I have previously studied Chinese, so this was a really great time to meet new people and again, an opportunity to come back to China.
And I'm CUI Haotong from Peking University, School of International Studies, and I major in international relations, and I'm in my first year of my graduates. So we four are in the same presentation group on development in aid. So what are your feelings about our preparation of the presentation, what we have done?
So I really like the discussion on that day before our presentation, 2 days before. We're really having a lots of agree, disagree and all this thing. Oh no, why this, why not? And all this thing. And before just 2 days, we don't know like what we are going to present. We just have 45 and 40 slides and we just mixed up. Then I really like that day, our discussion of the presentation.
I think the reason we spent so much time preparing for the presentation is because the four of us have such different ideologies around how development should look like, could look like. I think it took us a long time to get on the same page as to what our foundational knowledge was, and that I think is actually the point of this program, is for people to have a venue to discuss what we know about the world and how we look at it and what sources of information we're using in order to make our observations and our assessments. So yeah, I agree. It was a pretty active discussion and I had a lot of fun.
Daniel?
Yeah, of course. Well, I think first and foremost, our group was very comfortable with disagreement, healthy disagreement.
Yes.
And I think one, not only does that encapsulate the spirit of this dialogue and quite frankly the purpose of this dialogue, but I also think it allowed us or forced us to really come to meaningful compromises in regards to how we want to tackle issues of development in the global south. I think it's funny that the solution we eventually came up with was a forum where we would discuss the solution in many ways, mirroring discussions that we were having, within the group itself. Right? So
we're a small forum.
yes. Right now we're a small forum, but the ideas that we're putting out there have the potential to really create something much bigger. I'm just proud of what we were able to do, and yes.
I think he mentioned the spirit, like the theme, of this dialogue, how U.S China should cooperate apart from the competition. World is big enough, how they should cooperate on various issues, and through that discussion, we already proved that thing.
Yeah,
for our presentation.
We practiced it in a student-to-student
how it should happen. Yeah.
So my next question would be, other than the presentation, we also did a lot of visitings to companies and the Hong Kong government, some lectures from different famous people. So how is your feeling to this kind of activities?
I felt really thankful to have the opportunity to go and meet with so many different people. I think Hong Kong, you have that bias where it's coming from the financial sector. That's the primary industry there, and so we got this perspective that I think I don't often get in DC. It's a lot of government and policymaker and public sector sort of minded people that you meet, but here we met with the president of the American Chamber of Commerce. We had this really great survey of different sectors that are relevant to both US and China from Goldman Sachs. We met with policymakers in Hong Kong, but also I think anyone who is in a position of influence in Hong Kong has had at least some kind of intersection with financial sector. So that was a really kind of great opportunity to look at this macro sort of investment and trade moment we're in a city that's really relevant. But aside from that, I don't think I don't think any of us has a background in finance. It was just kind of a good opportunity to learn about this sector and spend time with each other, and I think it sparked a lot of conversation. You'd finish a session and immediately the first question to everyone was, okay, so what did you think? What do we think about that? Where did we disagree with what we heard? How did this align with something we'd already known? So yeah, they were excellent.
Part of it was financial, but we also did get to see a fair amount of policymakers. To meet with the chief executive policy unit. We also got to, just today, we got to see the ecological part. I think for me, as an American, who really didn't have any knowledge about the pre-described initiatives that we just kind of got elaborate takes on. I think it was just eye-opening in many respects. I think it challenged me to kind of look at some of the efforts the U.S. bureaucracy is making in regards specifically to climate change, and I think it kind of woke me up, quite frankly, to the fact that we need to catch up in terms of long-term investments to environmental initiatives, and that's how I feel.
About Hong Kong, of course, we visited the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. They're also saying something about the business.
I think certainly you have a point. That's what this program forces us to do. I think that's what these discussions with all these professionals force us to do more than anything, right? Because a lot of the information that they gave us was publicly accessible information.
So back to Shenzhen, compared to Hong Kong and Shenzhen, we also found out how Shenzhen is very important for the trade. We went for this place today. So, of course, we did not get a chance more in Shenzhen to integrate with the local common people as compared to Hong Kong. So that's my impression about this dialogue. So this kind of dialogue should be there for the people so that they can understand the real situation.
This is my first time to both Hong Kong and Shenzhen, and after I go to Shenzhen, I realized these two cities are so near, just across the sea, and we can see each other.
But it's so different.
Yeah, so different. Right.
What's your opinion about the difference?
I think the culture is very different. In Hong Kong restaurants, we can order in Mandarin, Cantonese, and English. So in the table, we have friends from different countries, and the waiter can get all this information. So I think it's the magic of Hong Kong.
Magic of Hong Kong. So nice word. What about the magic of Shenzhen?
Magic of Shenzhen is making me feel at home.
So I guess I can describe a little bit my experience. I used to live in Hong Kong when I was young, about ages 11 to 15, quite young. And since then I've been studying Chinese, and I went to Beijing Renmin Daxue for 1 semester exchange. I lived in Yunnan for 1 year, and I've traveled a little bit in the country. And I really do love coming here, and I have friends who are Chinese and live here, and I'm so excited to come back after 5 years. I was really curious, and I guess my experience here has been really one of sort of nostalgic welcome. I feel once again like I'm back in a place where I know I'm very different from a lot of Chinese people, and my life experience is not of a Chinese person, but there's something about being here which is just very familiar. I spent a lot of time around here, and so getting to use 吃福包 or walking around the Fudan, eating lanzhou la mian yesterday, it's just things that I missed. And so I think I saw more things that were similar and familiar than I saw that were different. Shenzhen is my first time here. I think it has that classic new Chinese city feel. Very wide, very big streets, a lot of new buildings, and that's one thing that I know is becoming more and more common, but I have to say I love sort of these older feeling cities with some character and soul. I think Hong Kong is that. It's an old city, older than a lot of modern Chinese cities, right? So it genuinely has that historical context, but also Beijing feels like a place with a real history. So I think maybe that's one of the things that I do feel in Shenzhen is that modernity is there, but I miss some of that underlying feeling of a sense of place and time. So
don't believe she gave his speech and a script, and she's just saying. Don't believe her.
No, it's true. We didn't discuss it.
So for Ashu,
Yeah.
you are studying at Fudan University as a PhD. Why did you choose to come to China for a PhD, and how is your feeling comparing these different cities in China?
This is the 300 times some Chinese student asked me this question, why you came to study in China? So I will get.
Thank you.
So, of course, like say India, China, important issues. We read many things about China in the newspaper. That's create a curiosity. Second, very like different system. That's really how to say, like from force me to come and study indirectly. No, not directly. I'm saying indirectly. My question of inquiry always in my mind, which I have had at that time. That also forced me to come over here, and of course, Fudan. I tell you, like I'm the first person in my family to getting education. So we always see this ranking and all. Fudan having good ranking in the world university. Yeah, these are the rank. I tell you the reason as a rank wise. So that is my reason to come and study over here.
And for Daniel, is this your first time to China?
Yeah, it's my first time in Asia.
Oh, in Asia.
Yeah.
Oh, so have you had some?
Soon after.
We have a larger team. Our last question in the first episode is, what is your impression on China? And Daniel hasn't finished his answer.
I don't think I came into China with a preset notion of what China would be. I think, certainly there is a degree of surprise, just with just the hospitality that I've received here. I think as I'm engaging programs, daily activities, I think what I tend to look at is commonalities between Americans and those from China. And I think in my time here, I've been trying to find what those commonalities are. I think they're quite plentiful. I think we're both very hardworking. But we're human. Yes, that is true. We're both very hardworking, very passionate, very intellectual people. And I think that's just a beautiful thing. I think it would just be because we're all students, right? We live in this room, but I'm talking, the hospitality that isn't just experienced within the program, but the way people smile back at me when I look through a shop window, or the politeness of people when they're asking to move, out of the way in the street, right? It's it's very different from a lot of stuff in the States. So in that respect, I just feel like I feel very welcome. I feel accepted despite the fact that I'm in many respects just the polar opposite type of person you would expect from here. So yeah.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And our newly joined Michelle.
My relationship with China, I've always thought of it as my grandmotherland. My parents are Chinese. Yeah.
Explain.
I mean, my parents are Chinese, so if the U.S. is my motherland and China is my grandmotherland, and I've had fuzzy impressions of it when I came here as a kid.
Yeah.
It really has changed so much. Well, then again, I didn't see Shenzhen 20 years ago. I saw Shanghai 20 years ago. It's very vague now, but I do agree it's changed so much. I think impressions on this trip, I think looking at China, and at least looking at Shenzhen, I don't know about wherever else. Everything just seems like so clean, so big. The city planning is like impeccable. The hospitality is like amazing. I'm a little like awed. I'm like, oh, whoa.
So to Chinese students, what are your feelings of this whole trip?
I think everyone was kind and everyone was frank to everyone. So that is what the meaning of this program. And I think we just talked about a lot of things today, whatever the daily life or what's more the political issues. And I think if there will be another program, I will join that.
Definitely.
I feel like that I'm so lucky to participate in this program.
Me too.
And as an intern at the Institute for Global Cooperation and Understanding at University, and this think tank has a motto, it's understanding the world, connecting to people. I I truly appreciate these words, and I also think this whole trip can present this motto, and we should like continue to
In the
yes,
future.
yes.